Hope. It's a powerful feeling. Hope. The concept that things are or will improve for us. What does it mean to cultivate hope well on the spiritual path and to not just be creating more ego ideals? What does it mean to create hope from a space of surrender to reality? Hope's based on reality rather than on illusion. Welcome everyone, I'm Jim Tolles. I'm a spiritual teacher. I've been doing this since 2010. I have a blog called spiritualawakeningprocess.com, and of course I do YouTube videos here. And I do one-on-one work, I do classes, and I do committed community gatherings. You can find out more about these things on my website and by signing up to my free newsletter. There's a newsletter sign up down below. Most of our hope is in the hope-despair pendulum of the ego. The ego doesn't like what's happening or is afraid it's going to be a bad outcome. We start to move towards the despair side. When it seems like what we want is coming our way, we start to move towards the hope side. And then that doesn't seem like it's going to happen, so we start to swing back. And then, oh no, maybe it will happen. And then we swing forward. Oh, we think this person might actually like us. Oh, no, they don't really like us. Oh, I might get the job. Nope, I'm not going to get the job, right? Somebody likes my work. And it's like, no, somebody does. This is what the ego does. My team is going to win the game. My team is not going to win the game, right? This is all part of the inner work that we do to let go of our beliefs about what should be to see what is. And this leads us into a different form of hope. It's the hope of seeing, oh, this is something that matters to me. I'm going to build on it. So it's not a naive hope. It's not just like waiting and seeing. A lot of people's forms of hope is just kind of a wait and see. It's like, well, I rejiggered the decorations of my house and that will somehow bring a romantic partnership to me or more money or like all these types of things that don't do anything. Typically, when things come to us or come to us easily, it's because somebody else has done the work for us. If you found it very easy to find this video, it's because someone else is doing the work for you. The people who created the internet infrastructure and all the code, and to YouTube that has put in their algorithm that you should see a video like mine. There was millions of hours that made it easy for you. This did not just come to you. We often mix up our sense of hope with a sense of something that's easy. We often look at some of the more important political movements and their output, but we don't look at like all the years of work that got put in to get there. Like women's suffrage, the right for women to vote, which is probably taken for granted by a lot of women now, but it did not exist at all times in this country. A lot of people just went out and did the work. They created the hope. You know, there's a very clear thing that they wanted, to give women a voice in modern politics. And they failed a lot. They failed a lot. But gradually, they earned that right. And women have been exercising that right more and more. And even now, right, there is these hope for, let's say, at least a balance of men and women in our institutions. So that's a hope you can work for, you can succeed towards. And it's based on the reality that right now that balance does not exist. Along the way, we're letting go of our shoulds. This should be this way, it should happen this way. and we become more pragmatic. The more pragmatic you become, the more you can realize things, you can make them real. But to wind it all the way back into the spiritual work we do is we find out we are full of nonsense and illusions, and all these hopes are like, well, maybe this will just get better for me. That will get better for me. And when you don't do the work, things usually don't change unless somebody else does the work for you. And so here we find an interesting kind of entitlement. This is so common in America. This level of entitlement that things should just go our way. We should get what we want. And particularly within, I think, white culture, you just got to have to name these things. Took a lot of things came my way because the culture I'm a part of and the resources they already have. That's not inherently good or bad. That's just acknowledging what's here. Other populations in this country have it much more difficult. And I think as we let go of our illusions about what should be and we see what is, I think that just engenders a lot of us a sense of service. Plus the selfishness of the ego as it falls out, as our pain falls out, we can think more about other people. When we are lost in our own pain, we struggle to think about anyone but ourselves. The resolution of suffering is powerful. The resolution of your own suffering naturally teaches you about hope, that you are that hope. Only you can let go of your ego beliefs. No one else can do that for you. Stop looking for magic from a spiritual teacher. And I know some of them say that here's this magical spiritual teacher, this magical spiritual being, guru, path that will fix it all. It does not. What happens is you decide you want to change. You decide at all costs you are changing your inner space is what you want. And you will find a way. There's some sort of old saying that I'm going to paraphrase. And it goes, when you want enlightenment as much as a drowning person wants to breathe air, you'll realize it. And in that realization, you are becoming your hope. And you're starting to understand what it is. That is something that you move towards, whatever that reality is. And as we go, we learn to let go of attachments to how we think that should show up. But we don't stop that internal work. And this is all on the backdrop of you are always here now. Okay, you are not going to get any closer to here and now. You're not going to be more yourself than you are now. You are who you are. But the ego that's trying to be somebody is all made up. That's creating the illusions, creating the illusions and the hope-despair pendulum swing. As you drop that out, you can succeed and fail. It doesn't matter. Because you're clear about what's real. And there's a very powerful grounding in that. You can be your hope. You are your hope. And when I talk about this sort of spiritual hope doesn't mean that life is going to go your way. On the simplest level, it means you know who you are and what is real. And that will always give you more space to engage with it and to engage with it well. Thanks for your time and attention. Please subscribe to my free newsletter, stay in touch, come to my blog, and share these videos with others. Sharing really, really helps. If you can share with just one other person in an email that lets them know that you care about them, that's really, really helpful. You are your hope. Bye, everyone.